Adventure into Fear with the Man Called Morbius, the Living Vampire. Issue 23. One by one, the denizens of this city have fallen before my inhuman thirst. And you are next. A world he never made. The Man Called Morbius, alone against Arcturus. The wind in this place blows blustery and cold and chills even the marrowless bones of the living vampire called Morbius. For days he has wandered amid these ruins, never laying eyes on a living soul, while the hunger in him grew. Hunger not for the bread and wine which sustain other men, but for blood, human blood. For only by feasting on the life juices of others can he stave off the deadly disease which threatens his own life. And now he has found his feast. Slowly, stealthily, careful not to disturb even a single chunk of rock, he moves closer. They are speaking in a tongue he cannot understand, but knows the tone of their words. These two are in love. A pity, really, because one of them is marked for death. Morbius leaps, and in his madness does not see the courage and character in the young man's face and eyes. He sees only the massive neck, its veins bulging with the thick red liquid that will keep him alive. And so the vampire never stops to consider that this hardy warrior might not be a passive victim. Thus, it comes as no small surprise when the youth strikes back. Now there is pain to compound the agony of the hunger, a dull, numbing ache in the gut, and a sharp, stabbing tinge as he is hurled back into the craggy ruins. To the agony and the pain now add anger as the bold youth seizes the offensive. Morbius tries to speak, to cry out to the raven maned youth that resistance is futile, but the vampire is maddened beyond words, and the dwindling reservoir of reason that remains in this scientist turned bloodsucker knows that this is the only language he can speak that the warrior will understand. The language of force, the means of communication or of circumventing same, he once despised most of all. But that was in another time, another life. Here, now, all that matters is survival. Remorse will come later, after the fangs have done their work, after he has drunk long and deep from the veins of this hot blooded battler. Maybe. Puh! What madness is this? The liquid in his veins is not blood. And that startling, somewhat distasteful revelation brings Morbius abruptly back to sanity, or a semblance thereof. You, female, tell me where I am, how I came to be here. Silence, no reply. Indeed, she reacts not at all to what he says, only to the desperation with which it is voiced. She fears him, but she cannot glean meaning from his words. So Morbius turns inward for answers, forces a yet hazy memory to recall the events that led him to these obviously alien ruins. Events that began when he fell under the hypnotic spell of the demon priest Damon, who sent him on a mission of murder, which was thankfully interrupted by the uncanny caretakers, beings from beyond the stars who had guided mankind through its racial infancy, and were now attempting to save it both from itself and Damon's cult of demon worshippers. Reluctantly, Morbius recalls he sided with science against sorcery, and thus was tossed into battle with Damon's cat demon slave, Balcatar, who in turn kidnapped him, brought him to the other dimensional realm within, whose monarch desired him as a means to control population in that self enclosed kingdom. But the thought of being so callously used was almost as repugnant to Morbius as his vampiric curse. So he again seized the reins of his own destiny, choosing to fling himself into the river that flowed through the realm within, and disappeared into that land's solid rock walls, rather than to live forever on the blood of the cat people. Yes, I recall vanishing into the rock, being borne away by the river's currents. But I know nothing of what next occurred. These moons, the unearthly flora, surely mean I am not on Earth. How did I arrive here, wherever here is? And were that not evidence enough, the technology which created these devices is, or was, far beyond anything on Earth. Theories, hypotheses, concepts race through the brilliantly analytical mind of Michael Morbius. Perceptions noted, ideas discarded, questions raised, until his glance happens to fall once more on a sickening reminder of his reality. I have killed again, and this time for nothing. There is, in the time between cravings, an abiding sense of humanity in this man bat called Morbius. His career, the field in which he won his Nobel Prize, was biophysics, and the more he studied life, the more he grew to respect the miracle of it. Thus, the deep sorrow he feels now is genuine. Indeed, were it not for that deep rooted belief in the sanctity of life, he might have ended his own long ago. He rises now, tries to look away from the hideous puncture wounds his fangs inflicted upon the youth, but he cannot look away, and this time it's not the horror or self hatred he feels that rivets his attention. Rather, it is a scientist's curiosity. Something about those wounds is not right. The blood, colorless, the skin more like torn fiber, synthetic fiber. I killed an android, an artificial human being. No wonder I could not drink its blood. Unfortunately, that realization has also reminded him that his need for the stuff has not been sated. You! Are you human or as bloodless as your dead lover? He can hear the ruthlessness, the desperation returning to his voice. His shock at the unsavory taste of the youth's blood is dissipating. He knows the female cannot answer, that his language is alien to her, but the mania is upon him again. The irresistible drive to feel teeth sinking into soft flesh, to feel steaming liquid on his tongue, to drink the bittersweet crimson that gives him life. And this time his efforts are rewarded. She is human, and she will live. I stole only as much as I needed for now, but that will not suffice for long. While I still have control of myself, I must leave this place, for she could not survive a second bite. And so he runs from the woman, from the lifeless android, perhaps from himself. And even if he knew, he would care little at this moment that far greater torment waits at this road's end. It is almost dawn when Morbius arrives there, tired, haggard, and mystified by what stands before him. The gates of a city, or what once was a city. It appears dead now, like every other trace of civilization on this world. And yet, I sense that this place is not deserted. Someone or something lives here. Correct, Michael Morbius. We live here. We, the people of Arcturus. Where do you come from? You were not here a moment ago. I am not here now, Michael Morbius. What you see is a mental projection. But come, you shall learn all at once. You have toured the home our ancestors left us. And once you have met the others. Others? Morbius asks, astonished. There are more like you? Like me. Oh, no. No two of us are the same. But you'll see that for yourself momentarily. How did you know my name? Indeed, how can you be speaking English? Where am I? Who are you? I am Lord One. potentate of Arcturus, and I is not speaking. I communicates by thought, which language is universal. Or had you not noticed, I has no vocal apparatus? Telepathy, mental projection. Then, did you read my mind to learn my name? Your name, and the name your race is given to our son, Arcturus. I am astounded. I've seen such feats before, performed before only by the ancient caretakers and their genetically engineered progeny. We know this too. Truth, it is why we brought you here. You keep speaking of we, yet I only see you. You do not even see I, only I's projection, which must now fade. No, wait, you promised to explain. What? The real I? Again, Morbius, incorrect. 'Twas I who promised. Do you think you shall be happy here, Morbius? Happy? I do not under. You will not be returning to Earth, Morbius. This is your new home. What? You are an ally of the so-called caretakers, are you not? A reluctant ally, yes. That is why I cannot let you go. Lest you help them do to your race what they did to ours. Turn, Morbius. Meet the people of Arcturus. The caretakers are our ancestors. No, this cannot be. You are all freaks. Freakishness is relative. We are the norm on this planet. The non-mutants are the exceptions, the freaks. But the caretakers appear human. What catastrophe! Biological war of a sort your race has never conceived. War for the right to control the genes of Arcturus. You know the caretaker's story, Morbius. How their expedition from this world crashed on Earth more than 10,000 of your years ago. But neither you nor they are aware of the events which transpired here after they departed. Our science had mastered the manipulation of human heredity, and over the years debate raged as to whether that knowledge should be employed toward perfecting the race. In time, it was decided that it should. Thus, all natural reproduction ceased, as it was decreed that children born of women would be destroyed, and the InQ flask factories came into being, but not without opposition. To many, it seemed inherently wrong to take evolution out of nature's hands. So they sought to reverse the trend with terrorist means. They began bombing InQ flask installations, and shortly full scale war erupted. Our weapons, as you may well imagine, were vastly more efficient than Earth's primitive nuclear devices. Most of humanity was destroyed. Those who survived went mad, deserted the cities. They live in tiny tribal enclaves now, and most have forgotten why. The ruins are mysteries, temples for them. As for the flask spawned super race, you are now among them. The bomb radiation took its toll on us as well. And you fear the caretakers may bring about a similar disaster on Earth. Precisely, they must be destroyed before it can happen again. Destroyed? Is there no other means by which to dissuade them? Look about you, Morbius. Look upon the ravaged continents. These men and women are titans in intellect. Their lifespans can be measured in centuries, not years. They are a super race in every respect save one. They have no instinct for self-preservation. They want to die. They wish their race to perish, for it has proven itself a failure. We will not allow the caretakers to create another such cosmic debacle. I see, but I do not believe. Let us test the truth of your tale against the indisputable fact of my thirst. The mania, the hunger are upon me once again. Will you allow me to satisfy my craving with their blood? For almost a full minute, Morbius drinks, oblivious to all around him. This blood is thicker, hotter, richer than any he has sampled before. It does indeed seem to be the blood of a superior species. Perhaps that is why he could not resist draining every drop. Two, perhaps it's why he is so stunned at the realization that none of you made a move to stop me. None of you made a move. You stood there and let me destroy her because we knew it was what she would have wanted. Now do you see, Morbius, why the caretakers must die? Tell me how I may be of assistance. Next, to save humanity from its saviors, Morbius must avoid the unerring aim of Blade, the vampire slayer. Again and again he returned to the same place, as if he were a helpless victim trapped in a nightmare. What brought him to this spot? What force transformed every journey Nyctaris took into a dead end? The last stop. The police, they picked up my trail. If they catch me with this load of stolen goods in the truck, I'm finished. Originally presented in World of Fantasy number 10. I've got to shake him off. I'll use the back roads, then I'll double back on my route. Shortly after, as Nick raced recklessly through the dark night. I don't see the patrol car now. Maybe I shook it. Hey, look out! There's a man in the road. I can't turn in time. Moments later, he's lying on the road. I should turn back and take him to a hospital. But if I do that, the police will catch me. I can't turn back. An hour later, at a roadside diner, the police are looking for a hit-and-run driver who injured a man on East Park Road an hour ago. Luckily, the victim is not seriously hurt. Thank goodness. The police were on the driver's trail when the accident occurred. The driver who was transporting stolen goods is still at large. I've had my lesson. I'm through making a dirty dollar. An hour later at a midtown warehouse. What do you mean, keep the money? I don't like how I earn it. Count me out from now on. No more stolen goods. I'm through. That night, Nick couldn't sleep. He kept tossing this way and that, talking to himself, waving his arms. Get out of the way. I can't stop in time. I'm a hit-and-run driver. Next morning, Nick reported for work, exhausted and nervous. What's wrong with you, Nick? Your hands are trembling. I know, I couldn't sleep last night. Give me my route and let me go. But an hour later, as Nyctaris drove through town, hey, what's going on here? This isn't the way I want to go. What am I doing here? But for some reason, the truck kept on going until it stopped. But look where it parked itself, at the gates of a graveyard. Why did I come here? 10 minutes later, after getting the truck to run again, what made me go there? Was it my conscience? Maybe it's just one of those things where my subconscious mind made me go somewhere despite my conscious will. But the next day, on leaving the dispatcher's office, the truck again took Nick where he didn't want to go. I'm here again. What's happening to me? Why am I coming to this place? Again, after 10 minutes, the truck started. Nick hurried to a phone booth. City Hospital. That hit-and-run victim who was injured the other night. How's he doing? Fine. He'll be out of the hospital in a few days. So he's alive and well. I've got to get a grip on myself. But day after day, the same thing happened. No sooner would Nyctaris leave the terminal than the truck headed for the same spot. Even though I didn't kill that man, I might have. My conscience is rebelling for all the unlawful things I did in the past. It was unrelenting. The truck would head for the graveyard as if it belonged there. Day or night, it didn't matter. I'm being punished for my crimes, for not stopping to help that man. I can't ever escape from my bad conscience. The following night, when Nick Terrace was making a night delivery, it came here again. That settles it. I'll never have a free conscience till I confess. I'm going to find the police and tell them everything. Please, help, please. A few minutes later, as a patrol car passed by, "What's the trouble, mister?" "I've got a confession to make. See that truck? Do you know where it goes every time I leave the terminal?" Half hour later, as a repair car came out to haul Nick's truck back to the terminal, "We're following the repair car back to your yard. We want to ask your dispatcher a couple of questions." "All right, officer, but I told you the truth, the whole truth." "Soon. We want some information about Nick Terrace's schedule on the night when a hit and run accident occurred." "Those mechanics are inspecting my engine. They seem excited about something." "Hey, Nick, you want to hear something funny? This engine of yours, we put it in 2 weeks ago. You know where this engine comes from? No wonder that truck of yours kept going to the graveyard gate. It was force of habit. The engine comes from a funeral car." "A hearse? Is that why the truck took me there? Or was it my conscience? I'll never know." The end.